Hi guys, it's Ruthie. I wanted to answer some questions or a question about African violets so everyone could hear about this. Um, Someone was asking me about what kind of soil I use for my African violets, and I just used the compost that Clay made for the garden. I put it in, and all my violets are doing great. Some people buy African violet soil. To be honest with you, I've had African violets, like I've said this before in my other videos, but I've had them on and off through my life. But now I'm trying to make a serious hobby of it. But they've always seemed to do good for me. So I think a lot of it is where you're putting it in the house, the lighting. I can give you some tips about my experience, but there are going to be some things that are going to be unique for you because some people may go to great lengths to do different things and somebody else might get the same results just because they found what works for them. So example, I can water the plants from the bottom, but sometimes I think that they like more water, so I'll like lift up the leaves and put them in the bathroom sink and use like warm water because they don't really like cold, and I water my plants that way because if they're flowering they're going to want more water. I'm always doing research on the projects that we're in, and my goal is to have my African violets blooming all the time. But if they're not blooming, sometimes I have to look into this more. Maybe some varieties just don't bloom as often. Um, so I'm, trying to show you as much as I can find out to make it a fun, exciting hobby for you. I'd like to get into some different colors and things, and I'll share with you as time goes on, places that I find and things I find out about them to help you guys. So it's a fun hobby and, not expensive, but just a cool little hobby. But I've been starting a lot of plants just from the leaves, and it does take about 4 to 6 weeks. I should say a lot. I started two, but I did see somebody was talking about that they dug in the dirt because their leaves are growing in sideways, and I don't know if that's something that typically happens, but I haven't done that. I figured if it's down there, it'll pop up eventually. I mean, what goes down's got to come up. I doubt it's going to burrow sideways through life, but what do I know? I'm still learning everything too. But basically, if you cut the leaf diagonally and you either put it in water, it seems like it roots faster in water, but it's also rooted in the dirt. Maybe there's just no rhyme or reason. I'm not sure. And but I did find that they do like a sunny window that's not like southern facing your house that burns your leaves. But if you get like a cool northern window, that they seem to really like that, and they do good, and it doesn't give you those brown leaves. But I hope this was helpful. Now I'm playing with the idea, and I'm not sure if I'm going to try it or not. Some people put honey on their leaves to make them take to make new plants, but quite honestly, it's sometimes if my plants are taking, just cutting a leaf off and putting them in dirt or putting them in water and they're going, I don't really know if I want to, have to get into a bunch of stuff because it may not matter. But tell me your thoughts on African violets. What's going on with your violets? If you're not doing African violets and you want to, I would strongly suggest picking up some now during the summer. I don't know if they're going to be, I mean, I have no guarantee that they're going to be as available in the winter. I just don't know if there's like a specific buying time for them that you can get them easier. I know here it seemed like the grocery store only had them in the summer and not in the winter. So, but that I live in a little tiny area, so that could be why. But when I lived in the suburbs, they had them all the time. So it probably depends on where you live. But anyway, something to think about. And you can get them actually on eBay. You can order leaves and little plants and things like that, and try to start them yourself if you want to try doing that method. Right now, I don't have any place I can particularly recommend to buy African violets at because I just bought them at our local grocery store and at the local hardware store. So, but as far as the dirt that I use, it's just compost from the yard, and you know what? I think it's working great. They say they don't like the big heavy soil, but so far I have one that's ready to bloom again. I started some baby leaves, and when I've done them before, it seemed like they all they bloomed. They took a rest, then they bloomed again, and went from there. Oh, my phone's ringing. So, but it seems like they bloomed, they took a little rest, and then they bloomed again. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, God bless. I hope this was helpful, and just a couple little tips on your African violets. So God bless. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you in our next video.